So this video is about making your business official, opening for real, doing all the setup yourself. I'm going to go through 7 steps. I'm going to put the steps up on the screen so that if you don't want to hear me babble on about any certain step, you can just jump ahead, or you can screenshot the screen and just follow those steps on your own if you want. But I'm going to break them down a little bit to give you a bit more guidance and a few tips. If you do want to listen to certain things but not others, then I'll put a legend below that'll show you where you can skip to in the video to find a further explanation on that thing. The first thing I want to say is don't be afraid to do this on your own. You do not need business experience. You can do this for yourself. It's never been easier to follow prompts on the computer. Most things are done digitally anyway now, and these sites are pretty user friendly. So I think you can do it on your own if you have some basic computer skills and you know how to fill out forms. You can do this. And also doing this for yourself is going to be good for you because you're going to better understand your business and how it's set up and how to stay compliant in your area if you've done this on your own. Now, if you hire a company to do everything for you, you've missed out on that learning experience. And maybe in the future, if you want to start a new company or a complementary business, you will not have those skills built up already to go and have the confidence to just go do it on your own. Also, please subscribe if you want more content about doing handyman work as a business or small business entrepreneurship in the home services space. And I want to hear your tips too, because I want your advice for my business too. So let's learn together. So what's first? Obviously, let's start at the very, very beginning, choosing a name. Um, I would recommend you choose a name that's not that long because you'll be writing it over and over again over time, and it will get really annoying to just write down this long name every time. So if you choose a name that is not too long, hopefully it will say what the company is, so it's not too confusing. And if you do choose a name that says exactly what the company is, then by nature it will contain keywords for SEO. Now, if you don't know what SEO is, it's like when someone goes to type out on a computer, if they're looking for your service, they're looking for you, how are they going to find you? What will they type out to find you pop up on their screen? And so it's going to be those keywords. So if you're opening a handyman service in Timbuktu, then maybe you would want to consider having handyman and Timbuktu in your name. Just just a thought. So if you've chosen a name, the first thing you're going to want to do is go to your Secretary of State's website and search the name to make sure that someone else hasn't already taken it. If they have taken it, then sucks for you. You have to pick a different name. So just keep trying, search names until you find one that no one else has. And if you do find one that no one else has, make sure it's not similar to a business that does exist that has crappy online reviews because you don't want to be mistaken for them. So once you've picked your name and you know nobody else has it and you're ready to register it, then you will form your LLC. Now, there's a gazillion videos online about how to form an LLC in your specific state. So I would recommend that you go to one of those videos and they will break it down for you step by step on how to actually open the LLC. Now, what is an LLC and why should I get one, especially if I've been doing business on the side and I already make money on the side, so why do I need to have an LLC? Well, LLC means limited liability company, and that means that you're creating a new entity that is separate from you as an individual. And by doing this, you're also separating your personal liability from your company's liability. So when it comes time to get sued, your company can only be sued. And if it comes time to seize assets, then it will be your company assets that will be seized. And hopefully none of that will ever happen, of course, but you never know. So forming an LLC is essentially just a way to protect yourself from if someone does sue you one day. Now, again, that's on the Secretary of State's website. You should be able to do it there. I would assume it would be in all states now. They'll have a form for forming an LLC, and you'll fill out the form and submit it with whatever payment they ask for. I believe in my state, it was in the neighborhood of $140 to register my LLC. And then just be aware that I would assume that all states would be like this, but in my state, you have to renew this every year. So every year you're going to have that cost. And if you are late past their deadline, then there might be fines or your LLC might be dissolved and canceled. So you want to stay on top and just be aware in advance that this will be an annual fee to renew your LLC. And every year you'll be able to update your address. If anything has changed or a manager has changed or whatever, you'll be able to update that. So at some point shortly after you form your LLC, you will probably get some letter mail from the state confirming things, and maybe you'll get a certificate. But watch these letters very carefully, because in addition to the letter from the state, you're going to be getting a bunch of spam mail that is coming from companies that are kind of disguising their mail to look like it's from the state because they want you to hire them to do registration duties on your behalf. So they might have a state seal looking, similar looking branding on them, or they might be coming from an address located in the state capital. And it's all meant to dupe you into thinking at first glance that, oh, I owe this money. It might come with a bill saying, please remit $138 so that we can apply for your certificate of this or that. Um, don't fall for that. Read every piece of mail that comes shortly after registering your LLC very carefully. Um, Look to make sure it's actually from the state and throw away everything else, because you're doing this on your own and you don't need a third party to act as a middleman between you and the state or you and the IRS or you and anyone else. You're going to do this on your own. Once you have received official confirmation from the state that your LLC is formed, you can go ahead to step 3, which is to register for an EIN. An EIN is an employer identification number. And so this is essentially, now that you've created a new entity that's separate from you, the individual, that new entity needs its own tax number that's separate from your social security number. So the EIN will belong to that business. And when you go to open a bank account, you'll need that. So how you get an EIN is you'll need to go to irs.gov. That's irs.gov, not irs.com. Mm-mm. Not IRS dot something else. Okay, because again, these third-party companies have cornered these domains, and they create websites that look exactly like the IRS website to dupe you into thinking you are on the IRS website. And then you go and give them all your information, your name, your date of birth, your social security number, your address, all this stuff that you would never normally give out to a third-party company. And then at the very end, they'll be like, okay, please submit $400 and then we'll send you your EIN from the IRS. And you're like, huh? I thought an IRS was free. And it is if you're on irs.gov doing it yourself. So go to irs.gov and look for the EIN application and enter all the information, and you will get it for free. There is no charge. The reason I know this is because I fell for this and gave them all my information. And then at the end, when they asked me for money, I was like, wait a minute, I know this is free. So why are they doing this? And that's when I looked a little deeper, and way at the bottom in these tiny lettering, it says, oh, by the way, we're not the IRS. We're a third party middleman who charges to help you apply for things for your business. Give me a break. Don't fall for this like I did. Registering for an EIN is free. And just to be extra, extra sure, I'm going to put a link that goes directly to irs.gov's EIN application. I'll put it in the description below. So once you have your EIN, you can move on to item number 4, which is that you'll want to open a business bank account. You want to keep all of your business transactions separate from your personal transactions from here on. Now, I know you'll make some initial transactions through registering your business and such with a personal card, but that will mark the end of you using your personal card for anything related to business. You'll want to keep everything separate. That's just a good business practice to start from the very beginning. You're going to save yourself time and money and bookkeeping expenses and accountant expenses. If you do hire an accountant, you will make it easier for you to do more yourself for free if you start at the very beginning, only using your business bank to do all of your business transactions. So that's receiving money from customers into your business bank and paying out business expenses from your business bank using your business bank card only. Not only that, I want to make you aware that there are business banking technology companies, I will say, where there's a real bank behind them, but the technology company is the face of the bank. And so with these technology companies, they call themselves business bank, um, but on their platform, you will be able to do all of the bookkeeping things that, say, QuickBooks could do, but right there in your online banking. And so let's say that you made some purchases at Home Depot or Office Depot, you can go right to the transaction and mark it as an office expense or as a supply or whatever. You can categorize them for tax time. And if you do that throughout the year, then at the very end of the year, these business platforms can spit out reports that tell you exactly how much you spent on advertising, how much you spent on office supplies, how much you spent on other supplies, how much you spent on your vehicle. It just makes it so simple and easy to do your taxes at the end of the year. Also, if you're hiring an accountant, it will save you a lot of money because all of your bookkeeping has been done throughout the year. It hasn't taken you a ton of time to do this because you've been doing it as you've gone along. And now you have the figures that your accountant needs in order to plug in and tell you how much you owe or how much is owed to you at tax time. Now, to give you some examples of what business bank platforms are out there, I only know of two that I've personally used. I've used one called Found Business Bank, and I've used one called Lili Business Bank, Lili. And both were good and helpful and had all the tools we needed. We did end up preferring Found Business Bank only because they had the ability to make unlimited savings buckets where you could allocate your incoming money to different buckets. So like you could allocate to a certain percentage of every dollar that came into your business account, it would automatically shuffle the money into these different buckets. So like we we said, okay, put 20% in the tax bucket, put 10% in a savings bucket, put 10% in a sinking fund bucket for our new service vehicle that we want to get, and put 5% into something else, you know? And so every dollar that comes in, it's automatically shuffled to buckets. And that way you're never stuck thinking like, oh man, I don't have the money to fund this new tool. Well, now you can set that up in advance. You can say, okay, I know I want to buy this new tool. And so I'm going to set this up to automatically save a portion of each incoming dollar to go toward the purchase of this new tool. And that way your company can avoid debt and budget for things that it's going to need down the road. Oh, and another bucket that I use is a bucket for saving up for the next insurance payment that our business has to make, because those are large payments. And so it's just easier if you save up as time goes on. So simultaneously to opening your business account, number 5 would be to register for any local licenses, like county or city business licenses that you might need. I know that in my area, I only have a county license because I don't live in the city proper, so I'm not required to have a license there, but they charge you like it's usually a small amount to just for the privilege of doing business in that area. And so you want to find out what those are and then go ahead and get them. And then if you need any specialty license, like say a specialty handyman license, that will be area specific. So you just want to look around online and see what do they want you to have in your area in terms of a license and make sure you have that so that you can stay compliant. Trust me, the Karens are out there. They're aware of what license you're supposed to have. And if you don't have that or you're not able to present that, then they could potentially pose a problem for you. You don't want to get reported, you don't want to get shut down. So you should be aware of what licenses are required for the activities that you plan to do. Item number 6 is to get yourself some liability insurance for your company, and it's just going to protect your company from lawsuits, hopefully. Hopefully you won't get any ever. But in this line of work that we're in, the handyman business, we're going onto people's property, we're going into people's homes, we're doing things that, like an accident could happen where something could get damaged. And so you just want to make sure that you have a proper amount of insurance to cover any mishaps. And also, it's going to be a must to have this if you want to do work for any other companies, say like an HOA or any company that's going to want to hire you is most likely going to ask for this. So you want to go ahead and arrange that in advance and have it ready to present a certificate of insurance to anyone that asks for one. It could also be considered a competitive edge when compared to maybe some other service people who don't carry insurance. Some people will only work with people who are insured. Now, once all of that is set up, I would say you could move to number 7 and go ahead and advertise your services. So the first thing I would do is tell people, tell your friends, tell your family, so that they can go and tell their friends and their family members that, hey, this person is doing this. So that way, if they're ever asked, hey, do you know anyone? Then they're going to have your information on hand. One of the first things I would do is hop on Canva, which is a website where you can design a business card. It has a lot of templates where you can just fill in your information and go ahead and make a business card. You can order them right there. Another option is Vistaprint. They have a lot of templates too. We've used them a lot. And you can create a little logo if you want on Canva as well. It is free, although there is paid versions where you'll have access to more designs, but it's up to you if you want to use the paid version or not. So not only will you want to order some business cards, you'll also want to screenshot the business card that you made so that you can go ahead and post that as a picture on social media websites in your community. So like maybe if people are on there asking, hey, does anyone know anyone who does good handyman work? Then you can get your friends and family to go ahead and post your business card for you. And you can be on there yourself too on your personal account, posting the card, recommending yourself and your business to people in the community when they ask. So one place that we've definitely got a lot of business from is from a Facebook mom group that I'm on. And on the like 1st and 15th of every month, they have a local business where you're allowed to post your local business to all the moms and they want to support you. So you just post it there and we've gotten a lot of calls that way. Another place we post where we've gotten a lot of calls from is a website called Nextdoor, where people are always on there asking, like, oh, does anyone know of a person in this area who does this kind of work? And we post our card there, and we do get quite a few responses that way. And all of this is free. So this is the first place that you'd want to go. It's like all the free resources that are available, go there first. Now, when you are marketing your services, I would say that it would be a good idea to keep in mind your target customer. Your target customer is not going to be probably someone with very low income. And so that's just the reality of it. Like you need to market your services to people that have the money to pay you, that see the value in your service. So maybe you wouldn't be marketing to, like a younger demographic that's able to do their own stuff. Try to figure out where in your area people need your services the most and then target those people first. Now, that's not to say or assume that, a low income person or a person who's young won't need your help. They probably will as well, and that's fine. I'm just saying when you're generalizing and trying to decide where to focus all your hours and your effort, you should definitely be looking in the areas where the people really need you and can afford you. So those are the 7 steps, and I really just want to encourage you to go ahead and screenshot them and follow them because as soon as you do one, it could give you the momentum to go to the next and the next and the next, and then the next thing you know, you have a real legitimate business going on, and you can make real money doing this. Our handyman service makes 6 figures a year. So yeah, I hope that this video encouraged you in some way, if you've been thinking about it, to go ahead and go for your service business and set it up and get going and see what comes of it. Push yourself. You can do it. Just start.